This presentation is on the use and lack of use of transparency in Facebook, presented by Camille Van Buskirk, Abby Dorman, and Blake Gottlieb. So what is Facebook? Well, we've all heard of it, but do we all know the facts? Facebook is a social media company founded in 2004 by Mark Zuckerberg. Facebook currently owns Instagram and WhatsApp, two very popular apps today. Instagram is a photo and video social networking platform, and WhatsApp is an international messaging mobile app. Together, these three apps combine for roughly 5 billion monthly active users, which is definitely a lot of volume. So here's an example of a Facebook news feed. To the left, we see a bunch of tabs, and I will explain them briefly. There is the Messenger tab, where you can direct message friends individually or in groups. There is the Watch tab, where you can watch movies, TV shows, and videos similar to Netflix or YouTube. There is the Marketplace tab, where you can buy and sell items locally, similar to Let Go or Craigslist. In addition, you can follow or join pages and groups of shared interest for specific content. One of the groups that I'm in is the University of Tampa class of 2021, and here people buy and sell textbooks, people talk about anything school related. As a class, we have a lot of common interests, and the group is to share these commonalities together. In addition, on Facebook, you can plan events and fundraisers, and one of the things that I really like about this function is that you can see a live RSVP list, so you can see who is planning on attending the event and who can't make it. When making a post, you can basically put anything. You can put text, photos, videos, emojis, links, etc. If you can think of it, you can probably post it. And when you make your post, it can be liked, commented, or shared by your friends. And there are also stories, which are posts that are only available to view for 24 hours. And finally, to the right, we can see our friends' statuses list. Here we can see who is online and available to chat, and who is unavailable to chat and offline. As we can see, there are many functions of Facebook, and with all these functions, there's a ton of information exchanged and shared on this social media platform, and it is important to know all of the functions and complexities of this platform when discussing it. So I took a look at the Facebook About page and read up a little bit about what Facebook is really all about, and I found it interesting to read their mission statement and what followed that to get a better understanding. Facebook's mission statement is, quote, "Give people the power to build community and bring the world closer together," end quote. The webpage followed by saying, quote, "Our products empower more than 2 billion people around the world to share ideas, offer support, and make a difference," end quote. And following with that, the webpage shared the billions of dollars raised by the Facebook community to support the causes they care about. The webpage included that millions of businesses use their app to connect and grow, and it also included that Facebook carries billions of messages and stories shared every day through their platform. So it is important to know this mission statement when discussing transparency, because we want this mission statement to remain consistent regardless of what is going on with the organization. So in the future slides, we will be breaking down Facebook's transparency, specifically looking at digital rights privacy settings, and the importance of your online personal data.
For good uses of transparency within Facebook, Facebook kind of can capture a lot of different information about you that you voluntarily give over. These things are like your name, your age, your gender, relationship status, and your email address. Those are very basic things that you probably don't even think about or think twice when signing up for Facebook. But with all that comes basically where you went to school, where you went to work, different photos and videos, different likes, your political affiliation. So Facebook kind of has all this information on you, whether you kind of realize it or not. They have really good privacy settings. You kind of are able to customize how you want your information to be viewed. Every platform or every different profile that you have, you're able to kind of make it specific to how accessible you want yourself to be. However, only you can control the content that's on your profile, but if you're friends with someone else, it's kind of out of your hands. So if they post a picture of you, yes, you can untag yourself, but it doesn't really protect the risk from it being online because it's kind of out of your hands and it's out of Facebook hands. But all your public information, like your name, your birthday, things like that, can be seen by anyone. But that doesn't just include Facebook, that includes websites, or if you were to search your name on Google, you would definitely pop up. So this was a quote from their privacy policy. Online, it says, "We use the information we receive about you in connection with the services and features we provide to you and other users like your friends, partners, the advertisers that purchase ads on the site, and the developers that build the games, applications, and websites you use." So basically what this is saying is that they gather all the information that you post or you like or you search to kind of tailor your ads and different programs that they're going to advertise to you to kind of make it more appealing for you. So in a way, Facebook is kind of covering what they're doing by saying, okay, we're honest with you in the fact that we're collecting your data, but we're doing it to enhance your experience, to create features that will appeal to you directly. What we do know is that Facebook has this right to our data because we have given permission to them. It's all hidden in their fine print. So when you accept the services that they kind of write in that big long message and you just accept to the terms and conditions, you're signing away your data and you're agreeing to this policy. And because you're doing this, they feel like they reserve the right to everything that they see. And they also kind of, like I said, cover it up by saying that it tailors to your service and your idea of the website because it's specific to what would advertise to you. This is how they make their money. They don't typically with Facebook. Most of the income that they're getting is through their advertisements. So to collect our data, they're not going to stop because that's how they're making most of their money. And to target it to specific users would make much more sense to the user's experience.
Okay, so for a lack of transparency, Facebook has had a lot of issues with transparency, especially in the past few years. They're kind of notorious for the Cambridge Analytica scandal, which happened in 2018, and they haven't really been able to recover since then. So just pause the video now, and then we'll give you the link to watch the video. So basically, what we took away from the video is that Facebook exposed data of 87 million users to Cambridge Analytica, which was a company that was partnered with the Trump campaign. So obviously there's already a little bit of bias there. And then Cambridge targeted users in an effort to persuade their political views. And basically the worst part was that Zuckerberg took 5 days to respond, and it kind of just made the public distrust Facebook and their motives. And then I found this quote interesting. Sandy Paracalas, who was working in security for Facebook, said, "The people whose job is to protect the user always are fighting an uphill battle against the people whose job is to make money for the company," which kind of shows that there's so many people that work for Facebook, and it's hard for everyone to, be like up with the transparent guidelines. So currently, they still haven't really recovered from the Cambridge Analytica scandal just because it was such a big scandal and people still distrust them. Last month, a college of NYU studied Facebook's transparency policy regarding political ads, which is what they're really kind of known for at this point. And they found a lot of flaws in the monitoring and enforcement, which basically there were a bunch of ads circulating that the NYU school couldn't locate where the source was, which is a violation of Facebook's policy. They actually identified $37 million worth of advertising that didn't have a source. And they found different ads that were the same but belonged to different sources. So obviously there was someone taking advantage of Facebook's policy, which is down to the user. That's user error, but not quite, because Facebook should be monitoring that and getting rid of it. So they concluded that they had large-scale disclosure issues and weren't monitoring correctly. So their 2019 ranking of digital rights, they found they had a 78% governance rate, 47% freedom of expression, and 55% privacy. So governance was okay, but freedom of expression and privacy were not so good. And then they gave some examples on how they could raise their digital rights ranking. So firstly, they could clarify their handling of user information, which is honestly the biggest thing. They just need to be more transparent with how they're handling people's information, because they are such a big company and they have such fine guidelines that you can't really tell what's happening to your data. And they need to be more transparent regarding due diligence, which considers like the targeted ads and the violations that they had with them. So they need to be more transparent with how these ads are targeting people and what information they're giving to these ad agencies. And they should include more options on how users can control what is being collected and shared. Because obviously they give the option when you log into Facebook, like what you're sharing with other users, but they don't really give an option with how your information is being shared with big companies that are on Facebook and using your data. So the main takeaway from this is that it's extremely difficult for any social media or internet company to be fully trusted today, just because they have access to everyone's information. In the case of Facebook especially, they'll probably never fully recover the public's trust after the Cambridge Analytica scandal. The best thing an internet company can do is take extra steps to protect data and continuously reassure users that their data is in good hands. So basically, they just need to make sure that they have good people on their team that won't take advantage of the data, and just make sure that it's not going to the wrong places. And I found this quote interesting because Facebook is a free service, obviously. And with the case of the Cambridge Analytica scandal, this kind of is basically what happened. So Tim Cook said a few years ago, users of internet services began to realize that when an online service is free, you're not the customer, you're the product. And I think people realize that now and are more distrusting of Facebook. So yeah.